So really the first question that we really want to answer is like, why? Why have a motto? Why have intentions? Why have, a vision together?
A big thing for me, and this plays into like what we see with couples oftentimes when they come in,
Right.
when they come in to work with us, is that we're really good at identifying what we don't want,
Yes.
where we don't want to go, what does not feel good. And so we focus so much, especially in our relationship, about like, hey, stop doing that.
Right.
And by setting a positive intention, you're basically saying like, hey, now we know where we're going together, and I think that is just not, I know that that's just not our natural instinct in relationship.
It also means to me that you're having that discussion of where you want to go, because it's not just one person saying, hey, I think this year we should da, da, da. It's having a very thoughtful discussion. And I feel like that's very connecting in itself. But the biggest thing to remember is having to reconnect and remind each other, right? That's why we have ours on it's not a whiteboard, it's a chalkboard. We have our motto up there, and then we also have our 6 words, which we're going to do another podcast on that. But it's this gentle reminder when things are starting to go chaotic, like we're like, oh yes, okay, year of focus. Oh, this year of wholeness. What does that mean for me? And it helps you kind of have this new narrative for yourself, and then a gentle reminder to your partner.
Yeah. I mean, I think what it functions as for a relationship, when you pick things together, and in this case, it's just like a theme. It's like, well, this is going to be the ribbon that's going to keep us united throughout the year. It's like a touch point, It's like something that you've identified, like, hey, we've made this agreement. Mm-hmm. This is something we're going to try to have our relationship, our life is going to embody this word. And then, whether it's once a week or at the end of the month, it's something that you and I can come back to and be like, wholeness. We said wholeness. Right. How has it felt like that this month?
Yeah. And again, so we're always trying to support couples in finding ways to stay connected. Because if couples aren't connected, there's a significant disalignment. And that's when couples come in, whether it's in crisis or just like they don't know what to do. And so we're always looking for tools, for ways, for interventions of staying connected and like knowing it will be okay. Even if we're going through this uncomfortable moment right now, like we're in this together. We have this whole year theme that we've developed together. So
yeah, I think that's an incredibly important point right there, is especially, one of the complex things about being in a relationship is that you're dealing with 2 people, right? And that's what makes, couples counseling really challenging as well, because you're helping 2 people navigate their feelings, their emotions, their past, all of that. And we all have, I think of it like, I had this truck when I was in high school that my dad gave me after, when I turned 16, and he had got it into a collision before he gave it to me. Right. So like whenever,
damaged pickup.
Yes, it was a great little truck, a little 80 Datsun, mm-hmm. But you could not take your hands off the wheel. Like if you took your hands off the wheel, it veered to the right. And I think of myself, I think of people I work with very much in the same way, as just like, because of what's happened to us throughout our lives, we have slight misalignments. Right. And if we take our hands off the wheel, we almost imperceptibly, or with some very easy to perceive, we just veer off in a direction. And with couples, that if we don't stay focused, if we don't have touchstones, if we don't have agreements that we make with our partner, then we just gently, we're just gently veering in different directions. And if we're not careful, all of a sudden it's 5, 6 weeks, 5, 6 months, 5, 6 years. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden we're like far, far apart. And so this setting an intention with you and your partner for the year, mm-hmm. is a way that you're like, okay, this is us putting our hands back on the wheels and making sure we're in alignment with one another.